Oh, yes. There you go. Good evening, Soup Dog. Good evening, chat. Good evening, everyone. Today is a very, very, very special day. I don't know why. It's not because it's April 1st, but it's because two of my artists have gotten back to me last night. And I am going to show you what the fruits of their labor have provided us. We're going to show that a little later on into the stream, mostly because I want to make sure that we have the opportunity to kind of talk. I got a couple things I want to yap about. I think I put their references. I think it's either that scene or it's the scene. Really wish the shortcut keys were a bit more legible here. Oh, Alt B. Maybe have to might have to do that. There we go. Yeah, hello, good evening. We are just yapping right now, but the yapping is because there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. Um, Mostly kind of like a hey, hi, how are you? Something I would like to try to do once a month. Oh, can't interrupt the dice roll. See what you got. Ooh, only a 4. Well, it is April Fool's, so who knows? Maybe that's actually more than a 4. We're gonna go ahead and get some music playing here. I want to make sure that we actually have music on this scene. I don't think we do, because I don't know if I threw it in the audio group tab. Let's see here. Nope. This one? No. Okay, let me add. I gotta add Spotify here real quick. I'm sorry that you're struggling here. Speaking of struggling, this one, whoop, sends you down. Order moved already. Ouch. Takedown. I thought that was. Wait, what is it then? Is it number one then? Because I could have swore it was EA. Oh, it was. Huh. I could have just actually read the chat message about it. Sorry, I'm also like adding in Spotify to make sure it works properly here. Oh, is it gonna work? It is working. Cool. So I know it's like we're starting off with a Halo theme, so it's like pretty hardcore start, but essentially we got a couple things to talk about today. There's something that's been on my mind that I want to talk about, and then I'm going to show off the updates to the art I got coming for the channel. Specifically and particularly for the character, and then also for the Fugi I had started to get work done on for when we play Halo, to try to see if that could help with some of the graphical load. Because if it does work well for that, I do want to commission the same artist again to do the art for my Twitch character, Fugi, properly. Because I would actually kind of like to get into like being a more of a PNG tuber than like hold on, I gotta tweak something here. Get over here. I'm gonna move my VTuber studio to be on the main monitor so I can actually like properly look at things as I'm talking. But one of the things we had discussed previously that I want to talk about, and it's kind of funny that we got this kind of a dramatic of a song playing right now, so I'm actually going to skip it. I'm going to select a more somber song. Because it is one of those things where it's like, I do want to be serious about this, even though like there are times where it's like, we're not really a serious like chat, so to speak. Like, we don't always talk about serious things. It's just really, really funny that this is like the song that's playing right now, where it's like, we could kind of do something a little less epic. How long is Ambient Wonder? Ambient Wonder is like 2 minutes. But no, so actually should probably even pull up the video so you guys can actually get a specific reference as to what I'm talking about. I'll do that while the ad's playing. We had a discussion a while back, maybe a couple weeks ago now, but the topic was brought up about transgender people, and the topic of somebody had said something on Twitter that was inflammatory to transgender people, and we talked about it for a good while. I don't remember what VOD that was. I think it might have been this one. It's the one where we went to fight... Okay, so no, it's not this one. Sorry, I'm gonna try to find this real quick. Is it this one? I think it was this one. Anyways, yeah, enough of me talking like that. Good thing my Twitter is good for discussions. Yeah, it was... Do you remember... That was like, what, the 14th? When we talked about that? Anyways, no, it can't... Like, I was reading up during Trans Day... it's Transgender Visibility Day, which I think is, what, the 31st? No, it's not the 31st, is it? I can't remember what day it is specifically, so you'll have to forgive me on that. But recently, it was that, and I was reading through some posts on Blue Sky that somebody was talking about, and it wasn't like bad things, but it was kind of like a way to like reflect on what they were saying. And it made me think about when we had that discussion on, I think it was the 14th. I'm trying to remember the exact spot in the video. I think it's right about at hour 20, hour 21, I think is when we started the conversation. Let me make sure. I'm going to pause the music. Add a source here. I don't remember what it is. Is it? What is? I already have that? Hello? Oh, we'll just do two. So let's do this one. Okay, so it's going to kind of show off my Facebook feed here. Oh, Facebook feed. My YouTube feed. As you can see, I've been sent a lot of Jack Reacher stuff because I was recently talking about. We're going to move that down a little bit and then bring it up. We need to change the size of this. A bit more easier for everybody to kind of do. I want the. I don't want that one. There we go. Should probably put this in a different tab. I'm not like in the way of it. But yeah, I'm a great yeah, we're gonna go to the other tab here. There we go. This tab should be better for it. I should have done this before stream, but I got distracted because I was busy playing Slay the Spire 2. Give me. But something I wanted to talk about was that full screen. We had the discussion talking about how people had their opinions on. Realistically, I should probably just at some point break down and make a separate screen for this so it's a bit easier to see. But you were talking about how. Brother also said you can't. Yeah. So the discussion we talked about, I want to make sure I clear the air and make sure I'm very precise with my words so that like somebody doesn't come into this sometime later on down the road and have their opinion piece say like, oh, Jared is a turf, because heaven forbid. But the conversation topic kind of went along the lines of like, people are saying that transgenderism is a mental illness. And I talked about how it's more than that. And I went into talking about how like it's been shown that people that are transgender do tend to have like hormonal imbalances, among other things. And I don't know if I ever outright said it, so I want to say it now as clearly as I can. You are not a problem if you are transgender. If that is what your cross in life to bear is, that you were born in a body that you do not believe is the body that you were meant to be born in because your soul is different or your mind's different than your physical appearance, know that that does not make you a problem. Okay? That does not make you a problem for being that way. Okay? You are a valid human being for being who you are. It doesn't matter what you are. You are still a living, breathing person that is live, capable of thought, capable of being yourself, even though you have a more difficult lot in life than most. Growing up, and I'm only gonna like explain the whole bear across to bear thing a little bit better. Growing up, I was raised very, very conservatively and very, very Christian. The church we went to so much as was so strict about things, and I say strict in the sense of like we followed a lot of rules, but those rules were grounded in what we called love, being of a more loving nature, following your heart and things, because with how you were following those things, you would essentially understand that sometimes, even though something is called you to do something, right? Like, the rules are this, but sometimes love, you have to interpret those rules through a lens of love so that you're not explicitly and purposefully following rules just for the sake of following rules, right? Like an example we were given a lot growing up was, how do you show that you love your parents? Well, you take care of them, you take care of the things they gave you, um, help them out when they asked you, did you took care of the stuff that they gave you, so on and so forth, right? And so when we were being raised, we were taught that you show you love God by taking care of what He gave you and listen to what He says and so on and so forth, right? So an example too in this argument is like, hey, we're not supposed to murder, right? But if we're trying to protect something that God gave us that we, loved, would it be okay to murder? Technically, no, but that's not. It's not the point. It's like trying to excuse war in that sense, where you're like protecting the things that God gave you. Like somebody's coming to your house to do something, and it's the last option you have because no other option's there, right? I'm saying this to explain the whole cross to bear thing, where it comes from. I'm kind of going in a roundabout way to get there, but trust me, it's important to get to this point because everything that I'm talking about now is relative to making sure that I explain that you, whoever you are, if you are somebody that is transgender, you're not a problem. You are as human as the next of us, if not more so. Right? Because there are some terrible people out there. So, continuing on with that point, when you do have these moments where people say things that belittle you, understand that they're not of a mindset that understands. And sometimes you can't explain these things to those people. This isn't a call to violence, but just to continue on. Um, so when we were raised, one of the things we were taught is sometimes you're given a cross in life to bear, a struggle that you have that others may also have. But much like how Jesus suffered on the cross, we were taught that, sometimes our things that we struggle with are our crosses to bear in life. So for example, my crosses that bear growing up were things like my anger, my things for like food, all these different things that were very sinful in nature. Those were my crosses to bear. And my struggle for attaining to be more Christ-like was to conquer those specific things, like keep my anger in check, keep my greed for food in check, it's the whole thing. That was just how we were raised to handle these things in this church. So now that I've left, there's still a lot of those lessons I've kept to heart because they're good lessons and can be applied in more ways than just like concealing bigotry or being hateful or being a, just a terrible person. I don't use it as a facade to hide the hate. I use that as an angle to try to be loving and understanding to people that I could never truly understand the struggle of. And I was thinking about this yesterday before bed, and it was something that was on my heart, and I felt like I needed to talk about to people that were here when we did talk about that earlier. It's an important conversation, so I want to make sure I'm being as clear and crystal as possible with something like this. I want to make sure that I'm not being reductive in my conversation topics, because we brought up that people were calling transgender people that were transgender just mentally ill. They had something wrong with them. In a sense, where that person's coming from is from a sense of their own limited understanding. So it's hard to stay, as somebody who it explicitly doesn't affect, it's hard for me to sit here and take it personally to heart over something like that, because it's not a struggle I have. It's not a cross that I bear in my life. I'm very confident in the body I was born in. My struggles are more so of the things that I can do I have an easier time handling than others would have that struggle do, because my My struggles are more so with the fact that I just like food too much, and that sometimes I'm not. Yeah, there is an argument to be made so that some aren't misinformed. Just yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm I'm being as generous as I can to a situation where they probably don't deserve that generosity, but I'm wanting to be fair in coming at this from an angle of somebody who used to be that way. It's very important that I'm upfront about that. That I used to be somebody that didn't, that was essentially hiding behind my religious zealotry or hiding my bigotry, on certain things because it was something that's inhuman or ungodly, right? Um, but having taken the time to learn, having taken the time to apply what I was taught to understanding struggles that aren't my own, it's made me realize that I was wrong in acting that way to specific groups of people because I just, to me, it was easier to dehumanize them because I didn't know anyone of that. Um, I'm going to say struggle because their life is a struggle, but I never, at the time, I never really met anybody that was transgender in the sense of like, if I met somebody that was transgender, I only knew them as the self that they told me of while I talked with them online. I hadn't met anybody like physically in real life that was that way. And it wasn't until after some of the people that I was talking to online had revealed to me that they were they had transitioned or were opposite from the gender assigned at birth when I really wanted to start to learn more because I did really enjoy the company of these people. They were great people. Um, they were as human as anyone else, and in fact, probably better than a lot of the other people that I was talking with at the time. So, through that process, learning more about it and making sure that I was still being loving to what is essentially still God's creation, right? Because at the time, I'm still Christian in the sense of like I believe in God, Jesus, and everything else. I'm not a perfect example of a Christian. There's plenty of documented proof on my YouTube channel of me being a terrible Christian just because of like how I talk or how I conduct myself. But one of the things that every Christian should strive to be is loving, because that was the greatest commandment we were told, right? So in this instance, is it loving to hate somebody for something that is their struggle, right? No, that's not necessarily loving. What would be loving is like being there to support them, being there to help them. If they wish to be opposite of the gender that they're born, be supportive of them. You don't want to sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm leading them to sin because I'm letting them embrace this." No, that's not. It's not leading them to sin. Leading them to sin would be like, "Yo, let's go get drunk," or "Yo, let's go do things that are more damaging to the body." The thing about it though too is I don't want to come off like I'm forcing somebody's hand to conform to something that I shouldn't have a say in because it's not my body, it's not my struggle, right? My struggles are more akin to the fact of my own personal issues, right? Like I like food too much, hence for that's why I'm overweight. Anger issues where it's like it's just a matter of self control, and those are things that you can learn to handle with help, and I have. Not to toot my own horn, but I was a very violent and angry individual in my younger years, and it took a lot of that anger and that rage to become as gentle as I am today. Took a lot to get there. There's different things about like how there's the quote that Peter Cullen often refers to when he talks about when he decided to use the voice for Optimus Prime, and that's it from his brother. It says he said that hey, it takes strength to be gentle. It takes a lot of control to be gentle. Be that kind of hero. So one of the things I strive to live by is that is like a reminder that hey, it takes a level of character and strength to be gentle to those that need it more than others. Be the person that can fight for these people because they can't always fight for themselves. So relating this all back to the main conversation topic I wanted, and it's like we're starting off with the heavy thing right off the rip. I know, but I want to make sure that I get this point across very clearly. If you are somebody that is transgender or has feelings about that their body is not the body that they're supposed to be in, that they were assigned the wrong gender at birth, that God, if you want to go that route, put you in the wrong body, those are valid thoughts to have. Those are your crosses to bear in life, and how you choose to handle them is up to you. Me personally, I can't relate in the same way of feeling like I was born in a body I don't belong in. I can't relate to your struggles of being looked down upon, being abused, having to hide your true self from people that are supposed to be there and loving and supporting you. I can't relate to that struggle as much as I can through my other struggles that I've had in life, because, you're a boy, you're going to get mad about things. It's totally fair and valid to be that way. You're a big kid, so of course you're going to want to eat a lot of food because you're big. I was one of the biggest kids in my grade, and not because I was fat, just genetically speaking, our family is big people. Um, but to be clear on the point, to kind of get it off of myself, you live the truth that you believe in. You're not hurting anyone if you believe that you were born in the body that you don't belong in. If people are getting upset and hurt by your desire to be different from the body you were assigned in, that's not on you, that's on them. And they need to learn to understand that they can't let your, and I'm going to say this in a way that might sound like I'm trying to demean you, I'm not. They're trying to blame you for their own sin. They think that your sin is going to lead them to sin. And that's a lot of the times a lot of Christians will get upset because somebody's transgender, because you're damaging the temple, because like a body is the temple of God. But yet these are the same people that will overdrink. These are the same people that overdo it with drugs. They'll overeat. They'll abuse their spouses. They'll, say hateful things using their mouth to utter profanities to people, and hide behind their bigotry behind the fact that they're Christian. And they're just like wanting to be abstaining of sin. Or it's like Jesus himself purposely went to the sinners because they were those who needed him most. So, keeping that in mind, just know you are valid. There's nothing wrong with trying to be your true self. You feel like you should be different than the body you're assigned in. Who am I to stop you from attaining what you believe is right? Somebody like myself, if this was a struggle I had, I would, unfortunately, due to how I feel about things, I don't know if I would ever go through and commit with something like transitioning. Because that's just the unfortunate side of myself is I wouldn't know how I would react in that situation because I have no way to like balance or think of it in a way that you have to, because it's not something I struggle with. So, but I wanted to clear the air, make sure that I'm being transparent, that I'm being honest. It was something that was on my mind because not that I'm getting popular or not that people are like watching my content, but I just want to make sure that it's stated here clearly for everyone that I am not, nor have I ever been somebody that wants to just hate for the sake of hate. There were times where I was undereducated in it and didn't look at it through the same lens that I do now. Exposure and education on the subject by talking to people who this directly affects has helped me change to be a better person, to make sure that those that need the love and support, that they're often denied because people are lacking in understanding. Now, the unfortunate thing is, though, a lot of people are grouped up in the sense of their worst examples in this regard. So a lot of people that do have this as their lot to bear in life are often miscredited and downtrodden by the worst of their group. A perfect example, I could say that I'm a Christian, and because of a lot of the other Christians in our nation right now, especially in America, that are hateful bigots that don't want to try to understand people, they just want to eliminate them and get rid of them. They're the worst examples of being a true Christian. And I mean, the Bible even calls them out on it. There'll be many people in the end days that'll claim my name, and I'll say, I don't know you. So from an understanding of that, a lot of these people are scared of the worst of a community. They will try to use something to get advantage of something that they um, have, because they're allowed that right. There will be people that'll abuse it, just as there will be people that'll abuse anything of good nature because it's something that they can use to better themselves versus helping others out. Um, that's why people freak out about gender assigned bathrooms and like, oh, we can't let a trans man into a woman's bath. I'm gonna butcher it because again, I'm wanting to still be clear on it, but like, it's even just really silly to say honestly, because a bathroom is a freaking bathroom. Like, if you're in a public setting and you're going to the bathroom and somebody of a different gender walks into the bathroom and uses the bathroom, is that really that big of a deal? I can understand the concern of it when kids are involved because parents are protective of the kids, but at the same time, you're in public. You're really worried about in a public situation, some person like trying to do something to you in a bathroom in a public setting? Freaking scream. You know what's going to happen? Because they're probably a coward thinking they could take advantage of you in a bathroom, they're going to freaking bolt. And then all of a sudden, people see a person running out of the bathroom after somebody screams, will be like, oh, hey, that dude's a piece of shit. Get him. You know? So it's not that big of a deal to let people that are of a different gender to use a freaking restroom, because people that are going to make it an issue will get handled with if people just take a second to think about these things. That's an example that comes up common at work because I do work with a bunch of people that I'm going to give them grace and understanding that they're not educated enough on the matter. But they're probably also just hateful, though, because it's not normal. And technically that is true, but that shouldn't be an excuse to use for things that are to still be hateful, right? Because it's like, if we start splitting hairs like that, then we're excusing people that are hateful for everything. Like racist because, oh, well, it's not normal to be black. Well, is it really? I mean, look at the statistics of the world. White is actually one of the more while there are a lot of white races, there are more colored races in the sense of like splitting it geographically. Sure, we may be like, I don't know, 30% of the world's population, but is 30% the majority part of 100? Hell no. Anyways, but going back to the true talk that I was aiming for here, I want to let people know that if you saw this VOD and you watched this stream live and you were unsure of how I feel about things, TLDR, too much yapping, couldn't pay attention. You are as much of a human being as I am. Nothing about what you believe in, what you say will change that. Now, there are things that I'm going to be forthright and honest with you about that would make me feel lesser of you than that. Yeah, no, that's what is even a race? Yeah, no, that's a good point too. Again, trying to stay on topic with what this conversation originally started with, though. Me and you, and everybody else on this planet, we're stuck here together. I don't know about you, but I already have a hard enough life as is. I don't want to make it harder because I decide that I want to hate a group of people that aren't like me. And it doesn't do anything. I'm going to protect what I was given. I'm going to protect those that I love. And if you want to make that hard for me, that's one thing. But I'm not going to hate you because you're different than me. It's just ridiculous. That's childish. That's undereducated. So, again, not trying to sound like a broken record. If you believe that you are meant to be born in a different body, if you believe that your assigned at birth gender is wrong from the gender that you were meant to be because of your body, if the hormone imbalance, if I hate saying it this way, if you have like a mental issue with how you feel about things, I'm not trying to belittle it. I'm just saying that it's a struggle I don't fully understand because it's not one that I understand, but you are still a human being. You're still human. cut us both open. We're going to have the same organs, a similar layout of body. I might be bigger, you might be bigger, you might be smaller, we might be the same size, but we'll still have a heart. We'll still have lungs. We'll still have all the other organs that make us up. We still have brains, still have eyeballs. We're human. So I want to be clear that that's what I was getting at. I want to make sure that it's understood and clear that, hey, no, you're human, I'm human. You're no lesser than me. The only time you'd be lesser than me, and this is a joke, is if you hate Barnacle. Like, if you hate Barnacle, get out of here. Just leave. But yeah, I just want to make sure that is forthwit and stated bluntly how I feel on things. Is that I want to make sure that you all understand my stance on this matter. And it really even shouldn't be a matter, but because people want to make everything an issue nowadays and make everything political, it is. But yeah, so I just wanted to make sure. I think the conversation starts around the hour mark in the Halo Infinite Time Baby video on my YouTube channel, uploaded about 2 weeks ago, and time is spelt wrong. I don't know. I wanted to make sure that is clear for all y'all to understand that my stance on it. Next order of business, on a lighter note, we're going to talk about we're going to be talking about the itinerary for what I plan on doing every month with the streams. I would like to bring back the whole, we have a good discussion and we talk about things. I do like to talk about certain subjects, especially when pertaining to more of coming from a position of love and understanding and being just a genuinely a good person. So, like, having a perspective given on things is definitely a topic that I don't mind covering. There are some things, though, where I will be very blunt and forthwith that I'm against. And I think there's not many people that would be against me on them, given their nature, but, you know, just saying. But if there are things we want to talk about in the future, I would love to have it where we have a chance to discuss these things and, like, actually go through and talk about more serious subjects, because there was a time, it's actually kind of a reason why I wanted to do that, but people at work wanted me to start doing a podcast where I just yap about things for hours. One of my work nicknames was Rambo. So the idea was to make a thing called Rambo Rambles, where I just talk about a subject for as long as I can to explain and kind of like educate people on that subject matter. So if you guys would like that, I would love to do these kind of streams where we just talk and we just go on about all these different things that we have to discuss. Like, if we're talking about, and it could be anything. I mean, it can be, not sports, because I don't care for sports. That was my brother's thing. But, like, you know, talking about, like, video games, talking about streaming in general, things like that. Questions, answers. I'm pretty good at AMA. There are some things, though, that I'll be very, very clear and blunt on, though, obviously, if they're asked. But, yeah. I hope that conversation was transparent and clear where my stance is on everything. So, I don't think there's going to be questions about it, because I don't know if there's more to say. But I just want to, I want to be sure that, people understand that this is a safe space for people that aren't always like me as well. So don't feel bad if you feel like you're different than me, or you feel any way that I am different on. But just know that is sincere. That's not me grifting. That's not me trying to, like, pander to an audience that I have. It's just me being blunt and forthwith, and coming from a history of who I am and where I come from. I want to make sure that you guys also understand that I'm being as transparent with you as possible without putting people that would wish to remain anonymous. So, the next thing I'll talk about here. So we're gonna, what I want to do with streaming is, now that I've kind of gotten closer to the end of series I have planned, like we're almost done with Dishonored, we got Indiana Jones going on right now, Monster Hunter Wilds is kind of always going to just be a game I can play when there's not much else to play. But there are a couple games I need to save up money to get them, because, well, you know, I trying to buy a house in this market is ridiculous, or home. So some buying of games has gone on the back foot for that purpose. I know it's not like a crazy amount of money to buy some of these games, but that's kind of one of the reasons why I haven't gotten like a Little Witch in the Woods or Factorio yet. So those games will be on the way. I don't know how much of them we will be playing, like if we'll do a full playthrough, because admittedly cozy games like your Animal Crossing, your Stardew Valley, Fields of Mystria, those kind of games typically don't really hook me in the same way as like a first-person shooter does. I am 100% convinced that Halo has ruined a lot of my video game enjoyment because of the whole Halo was built first as a party game with the 30 seconds in mind of like constant like hits. Like, if we really want to blame anybody for short-form content, technically we could blame Bungie in like 2001 because they figured that formula out before anyone else. So just bear in mind, don't take it personally. It's just I'm a shooter gamer from my core. Like, it's just what I've done my whole life, really, game wise. But no. What else? So yeah, I'm thinking what we'll do is maybe the beginning of the month, or like the end of the month, like the first Friday, first Thursday, maybe. I don't know, whatever day works out. Maybe the first Wednesday. We're gonna have discussion time where we get to talk about things. So we'll make like an AMA title screen scene for OBS, so you guys can like sit there and be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" So again, I want to include you guys as much in this as you guys want to be included. So that'll be something we do once a month. Another thing we'll do once a month is we'll organize a gaming day where we get together as a group and we play some games with each other. Oh my word, I think I misread something. But yeah, no, I think the first game we'll all play together, or have people that can join in and play, would either be Helldivers 2, because I've been really itching to play that game again, and it's hard for my friend group to get together and play it, or some Halo custom games. We'll probably do like a poll or something at some point where we can like gauge your guys' opinion on how to feel about that stuff. I know the Master Chief Collection is pretty expensive, so we might do Halo Infinite because Halo Infinite's multiplayer is free. At least I think it should still be free, right? I don't actually have it on Steam. Let me double check here. Steam Store. Halo Infinite. Oops, if I spell. Yeah, so the multiplayer for Halo Infinite is free to play. So we might do that as one of the might do that as one of the games we play all together, play like some custom games in Halo Infinite. Otherwise we could also do like classic Halo through like the Master Chief Collection if people have that. I'm also thinking about doing some other stuff too, like maybe like a co-op run through of Halo with you guys, if that's something you would like to see. But yeah, no, I want to get you guys involved, and I want to be mindful not to step on toes of people that do stream more than me because it's like their actual thing that they do. Like, I don't want to sit there and like take, because like I'm gonna keep it $150 with y'all, and I'm being as honest as I possibly can here. My job pays very, very well. I work for General Motors. I do very well. So this is the whole point of this is more so like just for the sake of like, and I feel like I talk about this a lot, but I make good money doing that. I don't need the money from here as much as some of my other friends that stream do. So I want to make sure that I'm mindful not to steal from them. So just know that's why it's like my window of streaming is small. It's usually at this time because I know I'm not conflicting with some of my other friends that do stream for the sake of them. Yeah, General Motors. I work for General Motors, the American automotive company. I work as an assembly line worker. Yeah. I've been with them since 2016, so this is my 10th year working for them. Kind of fitting, honestly. It's been about 10 years since I really started streaming too. But, yeah, they make Chevys, GMC. So, no, that's General Electric. That's General Electric. It gets confusing, but no, General Electric is the one that makes washing machines and machine guns. I mean, technically, both are washing machines, depending on your kitchen. But yeah, no, it's... I work in the vroom vroom industry, not the BERT industry. No? It's a common mistake, but no, I work for General Motors. I just work on the assembly line. I was a team leader for 3 years. I stepped down because I transferred plants to get back home, which is kind of a lot what's kind of started this journey, so to speak, of, like, realization. Not that I hadn't already gone through some of these changes down south, I want to be clear. But since working at General Motors, a lot of my perspectives have changed on things. And with recent events that have gone on in my life that I'm not going to talk about, because they're not good things to talk about. But I want to make sure that it's clear, where I come from, where I stand. So as much as I would love this to take off and become something more, just understand, it's not needed. If you guys are cool with just us being as small as we are and talking about this stuff, that's fine. But yeah, having more serious conversation topics, talking about these things where we can and then just gaming with each other. I get to show you things that I'm interested in, my hyperfixations. I really want to include you guys. So right now, I'm thinking what we'll do for streams. We'll play some more of the games that I haven't really played recently, like Risk of Rain 2. I've been itching to get back into that game. Mostly because Slay the Spire has been kicking my ass. And I want to actually feel like I'm good at gaming. So I want to get into Risk of Rain 2 again. There's more stuff that I can do for the Alloy Collective DLC that launched last year. So I want to include, do more with that. And then some of the other things I want to do, because we're getting close to the end of Dishonored, getting close to... We're not really ending Indiana Jones and the Great Circle anytime soon, but I want to make sure I include other things that we like in what we do. So I'm making sure that everybody gets a fair share. So yeah, we'll probably, the first multiplayer night we'll do is probably going to be Halo Infinite. On the account, it's a free game, everybody can get it, and it's a game that I really enjoy playing. So yeah, I'll be in touch with that. One of my good friends, another thing that's coming up, and I'm going to plug the hell out of it because it's I really like this guy. I really enjoy when he streams because his gameplay is always very fun. They're a great person. But oh, if we're going to play Overwatch comp, I don't know if I'm ready to channel 2016 TheSavageED here with you all. Joking aside, we could try that at some point too if that's a game that people would want to play. I want to gauge the average viewer of my streams and see what they want to do, but I feel like Halo Infinite's going to be a great place to start because it is a free-to-play game. Is Overwatch now free-to-play? I don't know. I haven't checked in forever. But if it is free-to-play, we can do that too. I know Deadlock, Marvel, it is free-to-play? Okay. We might look into that. I got friends that do playing that game. I just want to play games that are fun, where it's low stakes, so just to be honest about it. It's free since 2022? Okay. Better still be free. Or else we'll look real silly when we say we're going to play Overwatch. Also, playing Overwatch in the Big 2-6 is really funny to me. So yeah, that's something too we'll do. I don't know if we'll get one in this month, but I will definitely let you guys know. So make sure you follow my Blue Sky or my Twitter. because that's where I'll be posting updates for stuff like that. At some point, I don't know when I'm going to record it. Maybe it won't be till June. But I would love to do a channel trailer. So go through and like get clips of things of like when we're playing games and like put together a trailer of like what my content is, so people can see. There's a lot of people that try to grow on Twitch, usually like clip farm and that kind of dumb stuff, but I don't really want to clip farm. And me starting off as a variety streamer for growth is quite terrible, but you know, I do what I enjoy first and foremost and what I talk about. So we will probably be doing maybe it'll be May when we do our first gaming together day. We'll see. A lot of that will kind of depend on what works for you guys. I'll draw fan art, I swear to God. Speaking of fan art, would you like to see something? Would you like to move on to the next conversation topic? Because we got two things I can show off. I am so excited for both of them. But the first thing we're going to show off, speaking of Halo, and the reason why I'm talking about it is because one of the artists I reached out to a while back, I had asked for, they had emergency comms opened, and I was like, screw it, I don't want to pay your emergency price, what's a full cost for commission? And they told me how much. I'm like, oh cool, I'll get 2 pieces, this is what I want. And they're like, oh, that's a sick idea. So, let me actually get their Twitter handle real quick. See your home. The artist's name. Where's the freaking messages here? Oh, there they are. Oh, is that actually my passcode? Holy crap. Alright, well, maybe it won't open. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm a terrible content creator. No, the artist I had commissioned to do it, is it Boss Veteran 134? They are a Twitter user that kind of does a lot of like Halo art. Let's see here. All right, they do have a Ko-Fi. Cool. So they are, they do a lot of like different character sketches, a lot of like, I guess you could call it like mecha art, chibi art, things like that. But they had done, I'll get their link here real quick. But yeah, so this artist right here has started working on what is going to be my, I'm going to call it my Halo Fugi when we're playing like Halo games. But they started working on this. So this artist right here, I started working on my Spartan Fugi, which is just my Halo Infinite multiplayer character. As a just playing playing Halo. And that's it. That's going to be the Fugi. So when we're playing like Halo or any kind of like multiplayer shooter game, I want to use this as a Fugi. Because like the nice thing too about this is I'm hoping to get these same poses done for when my main character art is done, which chat got a pretty exciting announcement. So my artist got back to me last night. We'll leave that up for now. But yeah, no, so this is my Halo Infinite Spartan. It's Mark 7 using like the knife shoulder pad from the Mark 4 core, using like a radio shoulder pad. He's got like a what are they called? A Gorit? No. What's the thing called? I'm terrible with my... Yeah! Actually, I think I got the image somewhere around here, too. Hold on. I think I got the image. Hold on. So yeah, my Halo Infinite Spartan is... Where's my... I really hate trying to find my folder because I have it named differently from what it actually is now. Oh. I was looking in the wrong folder. Yeah, so my main Spartan is this. This is my Halo Infinite Spartan right here. So this reference that we got is based off of this. So he'll have that like scarf on him. He's got the little up armor there. So yeah, so that's what the Fugi is based off of. We can remove Spartan. We don't need him up anymore. But the next thing is what we've been working on now for, I guess, this whole kind of like upswing of me becoming a monetized Twitch streamer is, you ready for it? My boy. Look at that. Oh, it's I'm behind it, but like look at this. Look at our dude. Crap. Come on. Sometimes OBS is so finicky. But look at, that's my boy. Look at him. Look at my dude. So my artist found more of a facial like a facial look that would match the character. So that's why this little bit's right here in comparison to the original ref. But yeah, no, they got this back to me last night, and I gotta say, I'm freaking excited. Look at how dope my guy looks. Look at this. Look at this absolute guy. Look at him. Isn't he freaking sick? So as you can see, yeah, there are some subtle differences right now with like the original, like what I'm wearing right now and what he has. But I've always kind of like just viewed this as like the casual look. When I finally actually do end up getting like this done, I can start working on like if we want to have art of him or like a PNG tuber. This will be the base upon which I build my foundation in future on. So yeah, this is Jared. This is the character we've been working on for however long. I think we were on part 4 of world building last week. So we'll do more world building tomorrow, and we'll definitely be showing this off again for those who missed it. But no, I'm so excited. He is looking fantastic. She's nailed the art style and like the exact things I was looking for with like the armor plates and things like that. He looks freaking rad. She even managed to do like the whole like holster thing on through the trench coat right there, which is really, really cool. You know, so yeah, this is Jared, this is the boy. This is the lad. Look at him. Look at him. Isn't it, yeah, I'm still geeking out about it. The artist for this is Eerie Skeletons. Let me see if I can actually spell her website right. I'm gonna do that before I go and send it. This website also has a lot of her older works. But yeah, so this is it's posted here in chat. Looks so cool. I want him. No, he's mine. Get your own. But this is the artist that did this work. They are a phenomenal artist. I'm not biased, but they have so many good pictures here. She's got some of her OCs posted up on here, some of her more art. But yeah, no, she's really talented. She's been at this for decades at this point. Fantastic. I know. So this is the artist that's doing the main channel art. But yeah, they're cool with me sharing their links and their art pieces. So of course I'm going to share them with you so you can see it. I don't know if she's updated her commission prices yet, but as you can see, she's got her list here. Her Q&A. If you want to know more about her. But yeah. Great artist. Fantastic. Full support, full send. Love them. No, you don't. He's right here. He's still here. You don't have him in your pocket. But yeah, so, no, those are the other updates I had for today. But yeah. So, is there anything else you guys want to discuss or talk about here? We're only an hour in. But yeah, no, I know, I'm excited. I really am. Really hopeful that they get it done soon. Not that I have the money to get more work done, but like, you know, once I have a base, we can then start getting more stuff that's more specific to the channel ready to go. Like emotes, like more specific foogies for when I'm on other people's chat. And hell, who knows, maybe even a PNG tuber started. Can you explain the structure of animal cells? They're small. They're kind of like ours, but a lot different because they're animal cells. I think the mitochondria, so the powerhouse of them too. And they don't taste really well unless you cook them. So do with that knowledge what you will. The next thing. I'm perpetually still looking for things to add to the widgets for things. I'm being funny. So if there are any things you guys would specifically want to add in here, I'm thinking of doing like a skip song one. But we're kind of limited on what we can specifically put in. Just because of like, if we do music, then it's like almost always thinking that misreading is something I do often, but like I want to make sure that you know, things are able to be used as the widgets. Because I would hate to have it where it's like we have something set up and then it's like unapplicable because I don't know how to give widgets back. I don't know how to give channel points back yet. So what we'll do, I'm thinking we'll try to keep them as generic and free as possible so that everybody can like use them and like have fun with them while we're playing. But yes, if there are any ideas for widgets you guys want to have, you can use the promote my idea for 50 widgets, which is pretty cheap. You can get that pretty easily with just watching the stream. But, you know, world building, we're going to change the description of this to be like any ideas that you guys want for the stream. Feel free to do that. You have so many dang credits. Yeah. A lot of the other stuff too with this stream, I want to make sure that you guys have your voices and input in as well, because I feel like that's part of like nailing the hobby and like, you know, expressing anything like that. But yeah. What else? What else to yap about? Are you guys watching Invincible on Amazon? I know it's kind of like a hot topic right now because people are like dunking on animation, but like, you know, if it's something you guys are watching, I'm enjoying it so far, but I've kind of always enjoyed it more so for like its story than like anything else. I do not watch Invincible now. That's fine. We won't spoil. But I am enjoying it. I do know it has its problems though because of like animation and stuff like that, and Amazon in general is a problematic website for various reasons. This is Halo Wars, isn't it? Part of the plan. It is. Neat. Really short. Yeah. What can we yap about here? With regards to I should probably just remove this source. In regards to anything else we have discussed today, I think what we'll do too is we'll also do a like a part of promote your idea. I do still want to kind of keep it cheap, so like you guys can have more of a direct way of influencing, but still have like a somewhat of a barrier of entry to it. So you guys just don't spam it. But the main reason why I don't want to spam it is because I don't want people to abuse and come in here and like try to like make it uncomfortable for others that are here. You know? It's like, oh man. Excuse me. Heaven forbid we get somebody that shows up and is hateful and tries to like cause trouble. You know? But let's see here. I think we might still do some Manic Miners in the future. We haven't touched that game in a while. I also need to get back into Deltarune. We are a long ways away from the last time I played that. I think the last time I played that was like February, January? We beat Chapter 2. That's where we were at. So yeah, we'll be seeing about getting back into that game. I like it, not as much as I liked Undertale, though. I think that's because it's like, as much as I like Undertale, I enjoyed Undertale more so because it was such a new experience to me in comparison to like other games that I have normally not played. One of those games being like, well, Undertale being an isometric. I don't know if I don't know what the right word would be for what the game Undertale was. Because like it had bullet hell elements, but only during like certain fights. You know, the approach to not kill people did harken back to like Dishonored for me, which is by far one of my favorite games of all time. I know we're struggling with Dishonored 2 right now, but that's because the game keeps crashing when I'm trying to like do this mission, so has sapped a lot of my enjoyment of the game, but still a phenomenal game. We got some mods coming out here soon for Halo Master Chief Collection. We got Ruby's Rebalanced. So we'll be doing, I think we'll do a playthrough of that at some point when the Halo 2 one's finished. The Halo 1, or the Halo Combat Evolved one is done. So we could do that at some point. Trivia. Which film star has a statue in Lycett? Why is that messing me up? Freaking European name. Paul Newman, Rowan Atkinson, Alfred Hitchcock, or Charlie Chaplin? Yeah, it would be Charlie Chaplin. Congratulations, Soup Dog. You now have a lot more credits. Also, that's another thing we should probably get going to. Small mustache. Yes, that's what we'll call that mustache. We won't call it anything else. I do want to get more of the engagement up with EdBot, so you guys can do more with my Firebot setup. There is the heist thing, but I'm not sure if I can like set certain things to be a part of the heist. I do want to look into that so you guys can have more to do than just play trivia or bid whenever we put up a new tennis ball for auction. Because, you know, I mean, people do like having fun with games and stuff like that. But yeah, there's also slots, which is just pure gambling. So I'm not too crazy about doing gambling stuff. But if it is something you guys would want to have, we could do it. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that it's like, I'm not big on gambling, so that's why I like don't have like that set up or anything like that. I know people do like betting and it does help with like engagement, but I don't like it. Even though it is a free currency, I just don't like gambling. I really don't like gambling. Because it's like it preys on your dopamine and your other like hormones that your body releases. So I don't like it for that reason. Also, why I don't like watching shorts, or like wanting to engage in the clip farming, clip market. You know, like trying to like get people in here by just doing like clips and stuff like that. I don't like it. It feels wrong. So I don't plan on pushing like too many clips. I don't plan on pushing too many shorts. Although I would love to do like a compilation at some point of like funny things that have happened, but it's just a lot for one person to do. Again, I also work full time, so like, you know, if I do more stuff like that, I'm gonna have to take another day off from streaming to tend to that. And I don't make enough where I could hire a full-time editor to do this stuff for me. yet. I mean, maybe at some point it'll happen, but I don't want to like get people's hopes up for content that I can't promise on without having anything to do with it. Merch is definitely something I do want to do because I do like the idea of like making like a, even if it's like just me who buys it, like a shirt that's just like my signature on it or something like that. I'm cool with that because it's really cool to me. But it would have to be of specifically the Twitch character because the model that I use by Hiriko, how do you say their name? I just had a thing of theirs up. Do I still have their thing up? Region. Hold on, I can probably find it here. It's Kyoki's. It's Kyoki. It's from Kyoki Studio. It's their male customizable model. They have a clause in their user agreement not to make this into like merchandise, so I can't like sell the look of this character. But the character is, designed after the Twitch character that I made. But just to be clear, I can't like turn this into merch. So I do want to put the laser-eyed Ed face on a t-shirt. I really do want to do that. Or like a beanie. I think that'd be really, really fun. Wide because it's really funny because it's also just my face. That is my real life face. Just deep fried and laser eyed. But I want to get this like redone with my Twitch character at some point too, so we can have that. So I just think it's freaking funny. I love that. It's just so dumb. We got that picture was taken at a Halo event called Halo Waypoint back in Orlando, Florida. I want to say like 2019, maybe. No, it was a really fun event. It was like this interactive museum thing that they did, and it was really, really cool. That picture was taken with the 401st, 405th, whatever the big cosplay group is that does like Halo and Star Wars cosplays. They were there taking photos, so I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm getting a photo. So I was like getting ready to fight. It was the pose I did, and I saw the face. I'm like, oh, that needs to get clipped. My one friend clipped it out of the picture, and I was like, oh, I'm deep frying that. So I did a deep fry edit of it, and that's where the whole laser-eyed fried JPEG look at my face is. Some of my emotes are actually of just me too. Like the Savage O, that's also me. The Let's Go, that's also me. The Tired is me. I was showing off a shirt I got, and I took the picture without realizing I wasn't smiling because I was just so tired that day. I'm like, oh, that's another great face. But yeah, so the only face that's not me is of Swede. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for decades at this point. It was when we were at Disney, and we were going down one of the roller coasters, and the picture we had taken of us was so whited out for whatever reason. So like we all looked that bright in that photo. So we took a picture of the picture and then just cropped it so that it's Swede panics that. That's where that one comes from. That is one of the things that is going to kind of be a sad moment when we do get to the point where we have like the new characters. Some of these emotes will change because I don't have a ton of emote space. But yeah, yeah, that's the history of those. But no, I really do want to put Ed Gaming or my freaking wide laser-eyed woke face on a shirt. That'd be really fun for me. But some of the ideas for merch I have is just like the TheSavageED, like the signature put on something. My coworkers want me to make bandanas, which is really, really funny. I wear bandanas a lot at work because I sweat really easily. So I wear bandanas to help keep the sweat out of my eyes. But it would be cool to make merch that's that. Like that's an end game goal. I'm not too crazy about it. I don't think we'll get to that point anytime soon. But that is something I would love to do at some point, is like release a merch line where it's like a shirt, maybe 2 or 3 t-shirts, a hoodie, and then like a handful of bandanas. But no, that would be really, really cool. And I think it's a good thing to have goals like that because it gives you something to strive for outside of just like wanting to have fun with the hobby. The other thing too, while we're talking about things I want to do with this streaming, at some point I'm going to be getting another computer. I think it's just going to be a laptop for now, so I can have more space to get my other computers rebuilt to turn them into the streaming machine. But I'm going to be getting a laptop to help with some of the workload on this PC so I can actually have better graphics when I am playing. So like Indiana Jones and the Great Circles, for example, that game kind of looks a little doo-doo on this PC, but that's because of how much of my RAM is being used on this rig. If the RAM sticks match, I might just take them out of my old PC and put them into this PC too, because like if the RAM matches, you can use them. If that works, that's what I'll do. But just being transparent with you guys, it is something I do want to do is like get more hardware invested into this so we can have like a better time streaming, things like that. Anything else talking point wise? I do want to do more world building stuff on top of like also discussing like more story oriented writing, because that's something I used to do a lot more of in my younger years. I kind of gave up a lot of my creative writing outlets when I started working full time for General Motors because just the schedule was a lot more demanding. But now that I'm kind of in a better place with work, I want to make sure that I can still have that creative writing outlet. So once we're done with the world building, one of the things I do want to do is have it where we go through like a choose your own adventure for the TheSavageED. Go through the choose your own adventure for the Twitch characters so that we can have like stories we work together on to go through these things. That might also be a once a month thing, realistically. So we have like 3 different once a month things right now set up. So we got the Yap, we got the writing where we go through like a story of what Jared does, and then we got the multiplayer game nights. I don't know when we'll start those all officially, but with them taking up 3 streams a month, it'll probably be here soon when we are starting to run out of games to play. But yeah, what else? There's something else. We do have one more. We do have 3 models actually to build yet. We got the Megatron G1 model from Hot Toys. We got the Hot Rod from Transformers G1. Or is it Rodimus Prime? I can't remember which one of them it is. We get that one from, I think it's Hot Toys as well, or Flame Toys. And then we got the Liber Lancer model yet from 30 Minute Fantasy. That will probably take another like Sunday to do. I don't know if it'll be this Sunday because we just did one last week. But it would be cool to kind of like take another day once a month and do like a model build. I do really enjoy that. And I want to make sure that you guys get to see that too because you seem to enjoy it as well. The other things I'm thinking about things we can do is the next big thing I definitely want to do is on August 10th is American Bionicle Day. And if you don't know, I am a huge Bionicle fan. I love Bionicle a ton. That's what my PFP is, a picture of Takanuva that I woke edited with the blue laser eyes from an artist called Creative Mechanics. I actually have the shirt on right now that he did for merch of that picture. He's drawn like so many different Bionicle characters. He also does like some Monster Hunter stuff, some Star Wars, and I think he has like maybe 2 or 3 Transformer pieces and a lot of Bionicle stuff. So great artist, love him a lot, but that image will get retired once we get the proper art done for the channel. So once that is done, we'll have to say goodbye to our Takanuva PNG and PFP and turn it into Jared's picture. Also, something I don't think I've ever really talked about is my preferred name. I've never really put much thought into it, but one of the things that came up in discussion at work is, what name do you prefer to go by on Twitch? And I never really thought about it before because it's kind of just what people call me, whatever they want. But if you do want to know, I don't care what you choose to say. I know people tend to gravitate towards Savage because it's like the first part of the name, but I usually go by like Ed or Jared. But if you guys want to keep calling me Savage, I'm not against it. You guys can call me whatever you want, so long as you don't call me late. I'm serious. I'm joking. I'm joking. You can call me that. I'm not gonna get mad about it. But I want to make sure you guys are included and filled in on these things to like have more of an understanding of where I come from as a creator in this hobby field. But yeah, so what we'll do, we got 3 more models to do. We got three months till July, so we'll probably do a couple more building streams where we build the last 3 models that we got. We'll do those like once a month. So we'll do a model build once a month. We'll do a the multiplayer community. We'll call it a community day, even though it's not really a community day, but just like a day where we all get together and play a game together. We'll do the yaps, where we'll talk. We'll also do, I think we'll still do world building streams until we're done with world building. Then we'll transition over into doing like story stuff for the character. Because I do enjoy having that creative outlet for us to have together. I think we have a lot of fun with that. But I think there's anything else. I do want to kind of stream a little longer. I might go and play Monster Hunter Wilds here shortly. We might do some Monster Hunter, or we'll do some more world building. I don't mind doing world building today because it's kind of more mellow and it gives us something else to do without having to be too energetic. But yeah, we got some other games we're going to be playing here soon too. Risk of Rain, maybe some more Balatro, maybe more Slay the Spire if you guys would like to see that. That game also has a co-op mode that's pretty fun, but the game is tough. So I don't know and I don't know how much it is right now. How much is Slay the Spire? Let me check. Slay the Spire 2. It's $25. So, so I got on my wish list. Oh, Abiotic Factory. We're gonna have that in there. But no, the other game that I really want to play when it comes out is Project Rustbound. It's the old Bionicle game that they had talked about before LEGO told them that they needed to cease and desist. It was the Bionicle Quest. What do they call it? Hold on. I'll actually pull it up here. It's funny that I just deleted the source. But we have is it Legends of the Mask or Mask of Power? I wonder if they still have the trailer up. I don't think they do have the trailer up. Yeah, they don't have the original trailer up anymore. Dang, that sucks. Well, somebody has it up. But I won't show that on stream because I'm scared of like LEGO coming down upon me. If I could someday become a LEGO brand ambassador, I might do that. This is intense. Oh, this is Destiny 2, that's why. Yeah, at some point. That is something else I want to do too, is I do want to do more, I do want to do more Bionicle games, so So on the Bionicle Media or Biomedia project, they do have some of the old games here, like the web games. Like we did it in a while ago. We did the original Bionicle Matanui online game. I think we did that last Bionicle. Was it Bionicle Day? No. I don't think it was. But no, we got some Bionicle games we can play at some point. I'd love to be able to do those. Like the Bionicle Monog 2, Final Chronicle, the Voyanui online game. I've never actually beat it. I think it'd be fun to do some of those. So we might do like a Bionicle Flash game day where we play some of the Flash games. That'll be fun. We'll probably do that at some point. I'm not sure when, but I do plan on doing stuff on Bionicle Day this year, which will be August 10th. Yeah. There's some stuff there. Now that we're kind of done yapping, I'm going to go use the restroom, so I'll be right back, and then maybe we'll go play some other video games. So give me a moment, I'll be right back, gamers. Alright, gamers. I am back. So, let's see here. Alright. Alright, better question. I don't know how many people are actually here right now, but would we like to do... thinking. We've done a fair bit of yapping here. We've done a fair bit of talking about plans for the channel. Would you guys... if I got the right... there we go. Would you guys like to... let's see here, what time is it? 6:30? I could go for a little bit longer today. Let's see here. See. You guys want to do some world building? I think I want to do some world building. Go ahead and get the world building stuff here. Sure. All right, let's go ahead. I know we like traditionally only do this on like a Friday, but go ahead and still, right? Go. So yeah. I forgot we put that in there last time. He has a dick. Let's see here. We're gonna do some more world building. I don't remember who was all here last time, but we did do quite a bit on last Friday. We'll probably do it again this Friday too, to be honest with you. But we got Jared's Twitch character, which we had art of. Those that missed it, I'll show you. I did actually just straight up delete it. Okay. You know what I should do? Hold on. While I'm thinking about this. Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna do some creative editing here. We need to go to open with oh wow, that's a very big image. Close this. Close this. We're gonna have this up so you all can see it while we're working here. I wish there's like a select tool that was like a here's one. Okay. Just gonna kind of crop out boy here. I'd probably do an easier time with this on my phone. File new. Okay. Erase. Right. What do I want to do here? That in a bit. No. Oh, save as PNG. Yes, build a world. We are building a world. Okay, let's put our boy up here. Have him be right back here. And drop him behind. There. There he is. His blood type is B negative. Yes, because my blood type is B negative. Although the joke is be positive. And remember, Captain, be positive. So yeah, where we were at, now that we're back on track here, let's actually make him just a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. There we go. So, where we were at with him. Twitch character. Character himself. The doggo boy has a fearsome tennis balls because constantly throwing and pelting them at you. Thanks, Kasuna, for that idea. Bounty hunter called Postman and setting. Postmen gather bounties for the government, judicial, corpo, and military guilds in this world. Typically, to go hunt down very dangerous monsters, thugs, criminals, villains, and rogue heroes. This is just the bio here. Boring section. He's 35 years old. He's an unk, but lovingly. He's male, assigned at birth. He has a beak. Blood type B negative. Height, the accursed 5'11". Weight, he is a unit and a half due to augments. Again, built Tonka truck tough. 500 about pounds. Eye color, blue irises brighten when he channels magic. Light mechanical augments help with focusing and enhancing vision. His combat visor helps when needing more tactical vision. His hair color, and by extension fur colors, hair, dirty dish water blonde at base with notable blotches and streaks of gray and platinum blonde towards ends. Beard, either shaven, 5 o'clock shadow, or gray tan in color. Fur, fur is dirty dishwater blonde with bits of platinum blonde and grays throughout. Ears are going to be dark gray blonde with dark grayish white ear fluff inside, kind of like what you see in the model, and kind of in the picture. It's a little faded at the top because it's white on white, essentially. But ears, he doesn't have human ears anymore. They were surgically removed. So he only has wolf ears now. They were transformed into wolven ears. Undergone the gene splicing for military augments. These ears are much more sensitive now. Facial features, scars, light nothing from major industries, and cybernetic enhancements left trace lines that are visible in the face where they were installed and not etched into his skull. Steals, why do you steal my ears? Stop it. They're my ears. Get your own. Various lines are shown just beneath the surface as faint scars, but do not hinder hair growth or cause any unsightly issues when exerting facial muscles. He has fangs along with typical average human teeth, however. Conform. I am the ear collector. I want ears for my collection. No, get your own ears. Do conform with his regular teeth, meaning no discomfort when mouth closed, no bite offset, or anything else out of the ordinary. No piercings. Let's go, Doc. Good evening. Yeah, I saw that it was you, sir, who put in the request for the aura. Lips. Why are you asking about these? Eyebrows, same coloration as other facial hair. 2 slits in each brow from augments, being one of the only places where hair has not regrown since. I already have my own in my collection. Yeah, but like, dude, they're my ears. Get different ones, not mine. Favorites. He likes me a lot more now, and I mean a lot more. Favorite drink, powdered energy drink packets mixed with water. Because water is great. Make sure you all hydrate. Favorite color is gunmetal blue, cobalt. Pet, I'll give you $15 billion doulas. Brother, you don't have that. Pet, no, but helps care for his little sister's salamander of Earth, a little rocky-looking lizard gecko thingy named Corey. Self-proclaimed one-of-a-kind postman, Jared is known for being a relentless hunter of his targets, often to his own detriment and the dismay of many. As a rejected military project, Jared turned to a life of working as a postman due to the main guild that sponsored his augments, still needing what he became to be kept under wraps. He doesn't mind it, though. The benefits alone are enough to keep his little sister out of a life he grew up in, and give her more. I guess that doesn't, the comma does it. And give her more than she needs in terms of a good life. Surviving back then was a brutal ordeal, as his family seemingly disappeared one day when he was away on a middle school trip. Assuming the worst, like abduction, he ran to the police guild, only to find the guild unhelpful and throwing him into the foster system with a deranged wizard as his new guardian. Though this wizard taught him very basic but incredibly handy magic spells to keep his nose out of trouble. However, being one to want to help others, Jared often ended up in situations beyond his scope because he wanted to help the little guy out. After a time, he eventually grew too old to stay in the wizard's care and was back out on the streets. Given his proclivity for brawling, he tried to earn a living being a pugilist, but with the augments, he didn't make it far in larger rings. However, on his 19th birthday, Jared found his little sister a victim of a similar situation that befell him. Seeking out what caused her family to vanish, Jared realized he'd need more than just survival instincts and spells, so he joined the military guild under promise of what he needed to provide for his little sister and to deal with finding his and her families. Having submitted himself to these experiments to build super soldiers. He's a werewolf hybrid. What kind of song is this? Oh, it's Nocris. He's a werewolf hybrid mixed with cybernetic enhancements and some odd magic tech. Stuff, baby. I'm some sort of mutt now, I think. Great at finding things, prone to being daft, very loyal, good at what I was made to do. Cares highly for his baby sister. She's who I live for. Without her, what is even left of my humanity after all they did to me? Does he have an element to wield? I like light. Light powers are given from the mystical sword of power. Why are you dumping just single points? What are you doing? Stop! No! I don't know if there's a cap on it. There. How many points did you just dump? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 195 exactly? What did you? No, you only dumped 1 point. What do you mean? That's just 1. 195 exact. My word, you guys. Oh, that's what you have left? My brother, you don't need to dump points. Why are you dumping points? Oh, Dot, yeah, this is, I don't know if you were here when we had the discussion earlier, but this is the new character reference my artist got back to me on. Look at my boy. Look at my boy. I still can't believe you did that. Decidedly, like lights, like powers are given from the mystical sword of power that he has. He has energy weapons due to working for the guilds and judges. Jared uses opportunistic weapon fighting, not limited to single wield or Kimbo style in combat. Your boy is beautiful, isn't he? Yeah, I freaking love it. I think you also missed the Spartan Fuki reference. Let me see if I can get that back in here real quick. And my other artist got back to me. I don't know if you can go back and chat to see it, but this is the other bit of art we got coming here soon. Just a little bit. Oh, I want this. Put him 12 bananas? Seems low. So yeah, that's the Fugi we got set up. That's coming in for when we do some like more shenanigans with Fugis here in the future. I mean, this is box ears or wheel ears? Ooh, that's a good question. Weapons typically has on them energy assault rifle, energy pistols transforming into hatchet. That's the energy pistols specifically that transform into the hatchet. There we go. No. And the watch he has provides basic energy shielding through magical attack all the time. Also, I have an Arctic. Why do you have an Arctic foxtail? And do you mean like a real one or like? Is there something you need to tell the chat? Anyways. The Power Watch gives Jared access to 6 different powers for short durations. Those durations are dependent on the various factors. Like how much money he has in his veins, demand of power exerted,
Savage,
etc.
what is Jared's favorite food? I can't remember if it's stated.
That's a good thing to add in. Let's go ahead and do that. My grandpa worked in Greenland for the longest time, and it was a gift from me. That's cool. So no, we actually don't have like a favorite food. We have a favorite drink, so let's go ahead and put in a favorite food. Favorite food. That's too picky. Loves greasy cheeseburgers. Pizza. Tacos. And that's another good thing. Like, oh, what would be a really funny thing to do? Salad. There. Steak. Oh no, that's better. Loves greasy cheeseburgers, pizzas, tacos, salad, but with lots of meats. You can put steak in there though. There, steaks are also in there. Ooh, that's a good question. I don't remember that one. Cheeseburger. Cheesebunger. Bunger. Cheeseburgers. Alright, back to where we were at. Particular needs. Whoa, we were a little further. Superior strength, self-levitation, aggressive speed, true sight, and omni-breathing balance master powers. Tiahi. No, that's true. Spoilers for, like, Metal Gear Solid 2. It also provides a baseline of defense against magic and recharges by dispelling magics used against Jared. However, 2 powerful spells will cause it to overload briefly, stopping it from allowing Jared to use his watch's gifts. I mean, I've never played them. I would like to at some point. Might do that as a stream series too. It provides a baseline of magical defense. Outside his watch and augments, Jared also has a suite of technological and magical advancements in his combat gear. He's more well-armed than most, even without tools of war. I was about to say it sounded right. Alright, well, if I know. Harry Potter was born on... I wouldn't know that either. Yeah, he did technically go to school in the 90s, didn't he? His postman uniform is still within regulation standards, but is slightly customized to fit not only his new nature, but also suit his particular needs in his line of work. Is it saying... Are you wanting to correct this, huh? More concisely, should be clear for a reader. I'm the reader, I make the rules. Fine, we'll do that. In his line of work, Jared tends to take on larger targets than most other postmen tend to deal with. Typical postman garb is usually red in color. Jared opts for blues and blacks in his uniform. The traditional... typical postman uniforms are trench-like coat in nature with combat vests and attire beneath protecting the bounty hunters from most small arms fire and most melee weapons. Current system with a radius of 16 is more commonly referred to as a... Oh, I guess it is a hexadecimal. Huh. I feel like that was a trick question. They...
Oh. _mint. Go ahead and promote your idea.
You have a favorite restaurant, and what is it? No, he does not. Where's his favorites? Foods, favorite color, favorite eater. Diners. Lee. Alright. Yeah, you guys have watched Star Wars, right? Like Episode 2, Clone Wars. Have you guys watched that? So you know the scene where Obi-Wan Kenobi goes to that diner? place like that. like a Waffle House. Waffle House of this magical realm. Where the hell were we? He gains power of more supernatural leaning. The game Subnautica, which features was removed due to performance issues in 2016. I want to say it's terraforming. It was terraforming. Because I remember you could do that in the game. They have anti-magic sigil. This is where we're at. They have anti-magic sigils adorning their gear to offer protection against magics as well. Postmen typically have rune-etched combat tools to help protect themselves. However, given Jared's experiments, he was given more specialized equipment. His watch, his weapons, his combat visor, etc. Overcoat trails down behind him with a split for his tail to get through, along with having the trenchcoat's tail shortened slightly to allow him faster and more agile movements without getting caught up in his own gear. Light armor plates and anti-magic runes etched into them adorn high combat action zones on his bodies, knees, shoulders, elbows, along with several rune-etched steel plates encased in the vest worn beneath. Jared's combat visor is not unlike a typical postman's tricorn helmet, but whereas those are full combat issued helmets, his visor simply folds out and materializes off his face, allowing him to have a better time focusing on what is going on around him in combat, letting Jared lean into his more wolfen senses than relying purely on a tech computer. However, this trade-off for his senses is that his head is much more at risk. He jokes about this, though, saying, well, that is why my skull is all but magical steel now, right? They're diners. Yes. They're both. Oh, I have no idea anything about Homestuck. I know that, like, VisiPop is the group that's going to be animating it, though. Tavern Diner. Yes! Never watched Homestuck, gonna get it right every time. Nice! Yeah, I wouldn't know any. I know Necten is a Bionicle character name, though. Yeah. R. See, this is one of those funny ones where it's like R or is. That's why my helmet. The power gif is so good. Why my skull is all but magic steel now, right? Enhanced senses, reflexes, and speed from both augments of a mystical nature. Don't throw it! How dare you? How dare you style on me? Headbot's a little slow, but it's done on purpose. Enhance. Enhanced senses, reflexes, and speed. Both mystical nature, werewolf, curse, magic, gene splicing, and from cybernetics. His biometric makeup of his cybernetic enhancements are as follows. They allow him to boost and enhance his baseline agility, strength, and vitality, and provide more mana storage in his body via runes etched into the mechanical upgrades. What collaborative album was released by Kanye West and Jay-Z in 2011? I would have said neither do I. Especially nowadays. Yeah, I know the answer to that, but I'm not going to say it. You got this, Dotman. I trust you. There you go. Good job. He also gains power of more supernatural due to his werewolf curse splicing before his augments, meaning that he also inherits the weaknesses of werewolf. Specifically, silver being highly dangerous to his being. Specifically, silver is highly dangerous to his being. You're fatal if not treated within minutes. Look at my ancestor or something. Yeah, you and Soup Dog both. Still susceptible to various magics, taking more direct physical damage from him, given him now being held together by darker arcane art. Holy magics, think things like Smite, Crumble Undead, etc., really affects him. However, due to his augments, he is unable to transform into a full lycanthropan form, which allows him more control over his curse at the loss of sheer power that form would give. He can, however, partially transform, but specifically in his hands and legs, inducing a lot of pain for him for brief moments of desperate power. He, sadly, is no longer forklift certified from his first hunt. Jared doesn't like to talk about it, due to him accidentally destroying a warehouse full of various magical enhanced gear. He chased a rogue hero into a factory made by one of the crafting guilds to create magical powered exosuits for dock workers in the aqueduct districts of Albany. The crafting guild do not like him working on posts for them. I'm literally but nobody is. Not even a royal house. Really? Fascinating. World setting and lore. Fantasy future, retro cyberpunk power metal mashup, cassette tape future, Alien, Blade Runner, Star Wars, like cyberpunk meets He-Man. Final Fantasy, but an American did first in the 80s, but no one saw it because Lamau Dune. The value of 1 calorie is different than the value of 1 calorie. I don't know if I want to know what the Discord April Fool's jokes are. I try not to engage with them. High-tech fantasy castle city built around massive castles. A city built around massive castles. Think skyscrapers ain't yet. This is not Earth, nor is it our home, but this is an Earth in a realm where magic and science are closer cousins than we know it as here. Floating land masses, buried cities, treetop wonders, mountain bastions, etc. Things work the same here, physically speaking, but there's still wonder and magic bleeding through. How the world works. A calorie is 1 K. Really? What? I guess. Man, can you imagine if you get like a taco from Taco Bell and it's like 1,000? Like it's still saying it's like 1,500 calories, but the calorie is capitalized. Freaking nuts. Never have to eat for like 3 days. Originally, the character from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is going to be black. Imagine getting a taco from Taco Bell. They're pretty good. I mean, they taste good, but are really bad for you. But they still taste good, so like whatever. Just eat and exercise. Eat healthier afterwards, and like exercise a little bit more if you have one. They're also really, really high in sodium. How the world works. Magic-based technologies have been around for generations at this point, but after various wars, global battles, and near-space waged skirmishes in the old time, the remaining world governments came together to establish a treaty of sorts to make sure magic could not be used on the scale to wage massive battles. 1 uranium's worth of calories. It is fast food. It's 100% fast food. A uranium's worth of calories. That's a lot of calories. Make you big and fat and round. Such battles have eroded cities, countries, and ceased the old land's existence. It still exists physically, but it's so hazardous to be in. It might as well not be. Sorry, my dad was texting me. So hazardous to be in, it might as well not even be any more real than non-existent. First cataclysmic war, the eve of the last old time, dawn of the first new time. Everyone hates these titles, but judges won't change their names. Uranium is not a. Never mind. It does have a lot of calories in it. The Mazda in the first Japanese car manufacturer in Le Mans. I don't know if that's true. The judges are made up of near eternal living beings, surviving deities, wise wizards, sage elves, unbiased ancient tree folk, and elemental gods. They came forward once an entire half of the living world. Just wait till you find out what the other secret noise is. Half of the living world was torn asunder in that cataclysm. Secret society from the old times that lived in the shadows, helping to keep the world from falling apart. The greatest failure was the first cataclysmic war. Ooh. Wait a second. I don't know what all my... Oh yeah, that's right. There is... I don't have all these set up as a heads up. So that you can't just pull out. Oh no, grenade! Ahem, 8 ball. Sick. Cover. Where were we? Oh. Think World War One, but instead of trench combat alone, it was medieval warfare, magical weapons, and swath of deadly conquest. Because they didn't think the war would become that devastating to the natural world, they didn't live in those lands or were too late to stop them. Were too late to stop them, ending up watching as lands fade. Stop telling me to fix that. They didn't think the war would become that devastating to the natural world. They didn't live in those areas or too late to stop them, ending up. Yeah, there is an 8 ball. That's a lot of hot dogs. Most definitely. Yeah, there's an 8 ball. Steam Elements has an 8 ball. I want to do one for Firebot though, so that we can have more funny ones instead of the Stream Elements one. But that'll be for another time. They were too late to stop them, ending up watching the lands fade into magical waste after the final assault of the Gorgadine. Little man. I'm curious now. Yo. We got a 117 there, baby. Get on my level. Dang, I didn't realize I made a Twitch account that long ago. I had Zooks. I always thought I really started streaming in like 2016. I guess it was like closer to 2015. Anyways, I'm 30. I'm like 32. I'm going to be 33 this summer. Judges are arbiters of the magic world, being aware how much is used anywhere at any given time. They also prohibit most destructive types and bind magic into tools with limits in mind. If they are those who employ the postmen, which Jared is part of. They mediate congressional bodies and monarchical. I don't know how I even said that the first time around. Bodies to ensure all the time. Just need to find Firebot commands. So there's rules, and I think it's exclamation point help. That's help with an A. I'll tell you the commands that you can find. But the specific commands for all the Firebot ones, I don't have set up for anybody. But yeah, there's dice, fail, death, wart, lurk. Is mayonnaise an instrument? We had this discussion before. Hellman's says it is, but I don't trust Hellman's. Like, you could say hi to Edbot. Go like, hi Edbot, that does something. Dodge. We'll throw a dodgeball that just goes pink. Because I can't figure out how to get the text command to... She's an artist. You should know this. You're like our #1 fan. They have ties to monarchies to keep them in check from exerting too much power. They were often work with military guilds to help guide warfare, protect people from the horrors of the old lands, along with the darker arts that have escaped that wretched place. Is an instrument technically. They have ties to the monarchs to keep them in check from exerting too much power over the people that they are in care for. They work with the congressional body to ensure that they do listen to the people that they represent. If any one body has near absolute power, it is the judges. However, given their nature, it would be beyond the scope of possibilities for them to be corrupted by what any group has at their disposal. The living world sees to that, along with themselves holding true to what is true. What is the scientific name for a bald eagle? I don't know why I would have said that. Probably because it's the funniest looking one. The living world is just that. This world, this planet, is alive as any one being, having more power than anything ever in existence in this realm. It can heal, but the time of how long that takes is beyond any normal life, and it very well may be happening now in the old lands. Ouch! Mavinki. Monarchs rule over kingdoms, countries. Mavinki. Lady reaction. Yeah, I was typing. I can't always be in character. I would love to. It'd be great, but I'm not that skilled. Monarchs rule over kingdoms, countries, dukes over states, baron over cities, towns, and villages. Congressional leaders work on all levels of systems. Senators with kings and queens, congressmen with dukes, governors with barons, mayors with no monarchical body due to being under governors and barons. Guilds work outside these restrictions, however, as they can be as vast and large as they need to be to their respective talents. Bonk. Oops. Damn bonk. Typical trait of the expressions art movement is yeah. Get down. Cover me, I'm reloading! Trying to meme names now? Nah, it's... There are some that I have some in mind, but I haven't implemented them yet. Guilds work outside these restrictions so that they can be as vast and large as they need to be for their respective talents. However, they do have representations from all branches of the judges, monarchs, congressional, working in their higher positions. Different guilds. Ow! Great April. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows, Soup Dog? Should you? Thank you, Magic 8 Ball, for being on my side. Typical guilds, like ones covered in different trades, crafts, hospital care, scientific research, magical arts, academy, alchemy, apothecary, military. Oh, we should probably put an academy in here, huh? Alchemy, apothecary. Oh, ads. 19! Oh, no. Oh, no. Not a 19. You should be able to compete against this. What the heck? Arc. There. That's all you're getting. Benefit to all. Traditionally, some have more sway over others than given to nature and what they do specifically. Some even directly work for the judges. Story of Jared takes place a couple thousand years after the eve of the last old time. ELOT. The actual year is... Bark? I did bark. It would be pretty fun. The actual year is 27XX. Time distortion detected. Verify with the first chronologer ASAP. Weapons. Ammo for guns being lasers, magical energy, and lead. Common weapons: lead, base projectiles, rare, laser, and magic energy weapons. Energy weapons operate via rune enchanted clips or magazines, specifically a charged metal plate etched with runes of power. Is it commanding you? Sure. Here you weren't. Energy blades, magic weapons of laser lights enchanted steel to mimic lasers or energy-based stuff. Think electro or arcing weapons where energy passes between two points. No! I'm surprised you haven't thrown a sticky nade yet. Ah, come on! Ouch! Magic weapons of laser lights etched steel to mimic lasers or energy-based stuff. Armor mostly cover like metal weaves with magics to boost defensive capabilities. Are there more typical plates that follow the same idea? Magic enhance, etc. There are energy shields that are there are energy shields derived from magical spells that do need to be recharged and can be countered. Most all combat armor is hybrid of magic and technology. All right, do we want to add plasma weapons? Do we want to do some plasma? Whoa! Oh, that is one. No, wait. Gremlin chat. It was one. Let's go. Of course I would know that one. I need a drink after all that reading. Chat, do we want to add plasma weapons? Why do I want to say George Clooney? Oh, in case you're wondering what the other... Alright, so plasma weapons, we're adding them in. Alright, what do we think about that? Lead. It was George Clooney. What else? Also, it's censored? Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't watched... I don't think I've ever watched a... Why is gay censored in the first place? What? What do you mean? Why is it not letting me scroll chat up? What? What happened? Firebot, come to my... Who played it? How's Big Gay and Big Gay Boat Ride? Is it actually, like, censored? Can you not see that? It's so funny if that's the case. My mod is being censored. Oh, there's a... It was censored for me until I changed it. That's funny. Alright. So we have plasma weapons. So we got ammos for guns being lasers. Magic energy plasma weapons are newer. Should probably change this. Can be powered by not with things. No. Lasers, magic weapons can be powered by lasers, magical energy, plasma. Traditional. Modern. Firearms. Plasma weapons are newer and offered are very risky to use without magical aid. Lead projectiles are often the most reliable. Ground weapons, lead-based, rare laser, rare magic weapons. Rarest plasma. Battles. Oh, great, April. Shall I grab food? Yeah, it's probably always a good idea to. June and July, as the difference is diabolical. What? Oh, yeah, that is diabolical. Let's see here. Magic up first. The first being plasma. You guys are gonna have a terrible time with the 8-ball, I feel like, once Edbot takes over it. The rarest being plasma. Magic weapons operate via rune-etched enchanted clips or magazines, basically a charged metal plate etched with runes of power. What I thought as well. Energy blades, magic weapons of laser lights, enchanted steel. Energy blades. There are those now that are technically powered by plasma. However, they still use some channeling magic to function without properly to avoid harm to the wielder. Armor mostly covered like place with magic, so we just... Alright, what's some other things we should add in? Oh! I got an idea. Jared's rival. Alright, chat. Gonna crack the knuckles for this one because we're gonna start getting serious here. Who is gonna be Jared's rival? What is gonna be his arch nemesis? His arch nemesis. So I spelled nemesis, right? But I did. Arch nemesis.
Request confirmed.
_mint. Go ahead and promote your idea.
Would it be so funny if he has like a stealth mode that would register if he has been spotted or whatever? We'll keep that as an Easter egg, like if we ever get like an animation done. Harbinger. Cave theme. Here's rival. I'll do it like this. His arch nemesis is Arbinger of Doom. Is oil. The very thing he fears to become. Dark. Postman. I think that's that. Yeah. It's so fitting that this soundtrack picked on right now. Jared. Jared was often time to be one, the only one inspired by some dark of time. However, there was or not sanctioned by the judges, nor told to anyone in the military guild responsible for Jared's yeah. No, it's because it's just spelt. It's probably because it's like thinking of Spectre, like not ra, you know? So you have Spectra and then you have Spectre. So we're working on his arch nemesis. Oh, it is just wrong? Okay, well. F me, I guess. Beast of ancient time. Why is this here? Over. There's one. Oh. Look how sensitive this keyboard is. Action. Station. Huh. Yeah, so we're working on his nemesis, his foil, his dark thing. So the question is, chat, what should this guy be based off of as a mythical like monster? Our options came out in 2024. It might be that the trivia is just outdated. I don't know if they've ever really updated that website. Old 2. You know, let's. Nemesis, that's what we're working on. Sorry, I keep getting distracted because I keep looking at Dotman and answering his questions. But yeah, so we have options. We have vampire because that's typically the. Hold on. Vampire. Wraith. Earth. No. Here we go. Ghoul. So, I have 3 choices that I'm thinking of. Spiritual, ghastly. On. Power. I always spelled charisma wrong. I don't know if I like ghoul here. Maybe we should do... Noble scope. Okay. Peaceful, why not something around the silver bullet? Because what I mean by, like, alright. So the idea I want to go into is that the guild that made Jared had done this before without any approval to see if they could do something with it. And that person was a postman, but then went rogue. So the idea is that... I mean, I got a huge S too. The idea is that we have a foil character for him in some of the stories we're going to be like doing like read-throughs of, right? So like vampires, they tend to share some of the same weaknesses. I think silver's one that they share in common. Holy magics, I mean, their thing's more about like daylight being an issue, but given that he's augmented, that could be something that they could have worked into his uniform to keep him exposed from light, you know. A wraith is also a really fun one because it's another supernatural enemy. The idea is I want there to be something that rivals him in the sense of like not so much being like the negative Jared or like the dark Jared. I mean, a werecat's not too bad, but it's still too close to a werewolf. I want it to be completely different. Because like there are like demi races in this world. So you have like demi cat, demi dragon, things of that nature are a part of this world. So things that are more supernatural are kind of like things that aren't normal but can kind of like blend in with the world. But I want this guy to kind of somewhat stick out because in the writing for some of the things we're going to be doing, I want to have it where,
Lizard.
Found it. He found it. He found the other one. He found it! You found it! Lizard man? I could put that down. That might be a good idea. Well, yeah, lizard men would normally be, but we could do dragon. Well, yeah, I guess. Not a bad idea. Being spliced. Human with draconic. We'll keep that. We'll just make it capitalized. Noble in scope, ritually made, pure evil, unfathomable.
Lizard.
Yeah, it's not gonna bite me in the back. Personally, it's something I find very intimidating. I like the concept of vampire who loses the darkness more than anything, but appears at night. Batman style, he pops out of nowhere. Yeah, power, charisma draining, traditional foil.
Lizard.
Dark. Arnold. Hunter. Hunting. This. Critical. This is the best day of my life. Yeah, it's pretty good when you find the funny noises. So if you want to do something really funny, you could go like style, then lizard.
Lizard.
Heritage. I don't know if I should have shown you guys that. Let's see here. What's another thing? Haunting, ominous, dreadful. Like, we should go through each of these things to kind of like make the idea. Your mood board. Wraith, spiritual, ghastly, haunting, cold. Venge. Vengeful. Eternal Hunter. Brooding. Related. Helps if I spell calculated, right? Calculated. I don't know if I'd put lustful down. What would be a thing that would make that stands out as a vampire? I mean, they're also technically cold. Bathroom bowl. Cold. Brooding, calculated. Fear. Spiritual, ghastly, haunting, ominous, dreadful, cold, vengeful. Fear. Someone found that Dotmint shall never misuse this great power and responsibility that you put upon my shoulders. Dotmint, we both know that's as much as you want to commit to that, it's not going to happen right now.
Lizard.
Spiritual, ghastly, a noble in scope, ritually made, pure, evil, unfathomable, occult. Weakest. Yes. Dragonic. Dragonborn, gene spliced human with dragonic heritage. To looking like a wizard. Demi. Vampire. Blends in easier. More human nature, but still has most, not all, empiric says. Wait, what's a great Discord entrance? What, lizard? I mean, it could be. Also just realized we've been doing this for a half hour longer than I originally intended to do. I didn't realize my phone fell over. Wraith. Spiritual, ghastly, haunting, ominous, dreadful, cold, vengeful, fear. Lich. Derive. Human. Able to matter more into a what's the word for tangible? To N. Tangible Destroyed human made to matter, so metamorph to an intangible form. Brain life. Suddenly have an urge to draw. Oh, I don't blame you. So we got, however, there. Okay, so most Jared stuff is good. The world stuff we can work on more when we can think of ideas for it. But Jared's rival, his arch nemesis, his harbinger of doom, his foil, the very thing he fears to become, a dark postman gone rogue. Jared was at one point of time thought. It was at one point in time thought to be the only one inspired by some dark beasts of ancient times. Long forgotten. Why did I put a not here? What? Jared was, at one point in time, thought to be the long forgotten to. Okay, hold on. Thought to be the only one inspired by some dark beats of ancient times. Long forgotten in the ever marching. I probably should put a there. Let out of existence in the waves of life. Becoming more domesticated. Yummy. Okay. Jared was at one point in time thought to be the only one inspired by some dark beast of ancient times. However, due to the darker nature of to protect all from all, stance of the military guild has, they did create others for Jared. Long forgotten they ever marching forward of time, should be forward of time. Blood out of existence and waves of life becoming more domesticated beings, demi-races. All these mythical beasts were thought to no longer be around. A sense like a werewolf or a vampire would have died out in However, there was one created by the guild not sanctioned by the Dutchess nor told anybody in the military guild responsible for Jared's augmentation. Give me femboy socks? Alright, real talk, have you guys ever actually wore femboy socks? I don't like them. They feel way too constricting. Possible spice candidates of or a vampire would have died out into DNA through what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say like through breeding because that just sounds terrible. Kidding. Or a vampire would have died into human DNA through years of genes. Right. However, they're one created by the guild, is not sanctioned by judges, nor told to anyone in the military guild responsible for Jared's augmentation. Yeah, darker branch, willing to do anything, keep things safe. Possible splice candidates. All right, so far what we have for splice candidates for what would be Jared's antagonist. Actually, put that in here. Jared's rival. So we'll do. Actually, change this to be antagonist because that doesn't seem right. Antagonist. Arch nemesis. Jared's antagonist. His arch nemesis, his harbinger of doom, his foil, the very thing he fears to become. Dark postman gone rogue. Not deny me my newbie. Of protect all from all. Since the military guild has, they created others before. Before Jared. Long forgotten in the ever marching forward of time, let alone waves of life becoming more domesticated beings, demi-races. All mythical beasts were thought to no longer be around in the sense of like a werewolf or a vampire would have. All these mythical beasts were thought to no longer be around in the sense of like how. A werewolf or a vampire would have been. They seemed to have died out into human DNA through years of gene assessing into half-halves to quarters to none at all. Stop! I only knew. Where? There we go. At all. No, I want that to be. I want that to be right. However, there are. So, what's another mythical thing we can have here? Dragonborn can blend in easier due to looking with. No. Yeah, so it just detects off of just grenade being said. I want to make sure the judges, if the judges have dragons mentioned in them. Made up in here. So there are no dragons. Do we want? All right. Question. Do we want to add dragons into what the judges are made out of? Because, like, then dragons would technically still be around? Fire. Wraith, Eldritch, Unknowable, and Scope. I don't know, just make it an actual colon. You hit the lizard? No! How dare you hit the lizard? Oil blends in more human-like nature, but most not. Not all vampiric weaknesses can have slight forming. No more. Oh, yeah, I didn't. I forgot a G. Oh, shop. Chat late for me for some reason. That's so weird. Is my bitrate really, really high? Let me check. I gotta check on, like, my browser, though. Okay. It does say my bitrate is too high. I don't know if that's anything. Dot, why do you keep getting rid of the... You should be keeping those, Dot. Inspector. Not too bad. You might just have to refresh Dotment. I don't know why it's being all weird like that. But anyways, let's see here. Let me get back to OBS. Can't believe you just do that. Drop your bits down. It's so funny to me. So, because the other thing I want to do is I think it would be cool to make more of him. But what one would have come before a werewolf? I like the idea of like a vampire being a bad one because it's just a good fit. Wraith is the one where it's like I can see being good. Zero line. What was the correct answer? Oh, I wouldn't have known that. Before voicing Pearl in Steven Universe, Dee Dee Mango Hall was part of which American band? I have no idea. I don't even want to say the Pussycat Dolls, but I don't think that's right. I want to say maybe it's the Cheetah Cat or the Cheetah Girls. I don't know. I don't know. I've never watched a full episode of Steven Universe. Ooh, party. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that. My bad. I do like the idea of a Wraith postman being a good guy. So, let's do this. Other possible Spice Guild match. What? I'm skipping this song. In fact, I'm probably going to actually remove it from this playlist. I hope you guys don't mind. Al-Qaid. Oh, you did? Oh, my bad. I heard it a lot recently. I'm sorry. We can add it back in later. It got better after the refresh? Okay. That's good. A noble in scope. This one, so I'm thinking, what do you guys like better as the main, like, what would be the one to be like the dark postmaster that Jared has to deal with? I like the idea of the vampire. So we got vampire. Wraith, I kind of like being as like the follow-up. Drips, disfit IMO, hard to work in, given what too, actually. I like vampires, so
Request
I
confirmed.
definitely want to do
._mint. Go ahead
vampires,
and promote
codename
your
Wraith,
idea.
Best of both worlds. Right. But what I'm getting at is, we can worry about the codename later, but, like, I'm thinking, honestly, this should be the bad one. So he's a vampire splice. So let's do... There's 1 point in time, thought to be protector of all, and forgotten any ever much towards time. However, the military goes, anything to keep it safe. They created the splice cybernetic. So this is a Twilight reference? No, it's not. It's traditionally like Underworld did it first. Where they had like vampires and werewolves. Underworld was the one that did that first out of the two. And I really like Kate Beckinsale in that movie for obvious reasons. That a vampire became this villain goes by the name. What name should we give this guy? I don't want to do Wraith. Because that almost seems too edgy. We could do... What name to give this villain? I want to do Draco. Because that's kind of like a dragon name. Edgy is good for a villain, but I don't... Because it's like we do have the Wraith. I'm creating another postman after this guy. We're going to do a Wraith one. That is the anti-hero. Goes by the name... I always phone a friend. Get her online. Let's see if he replies. Edgy is good for a villain, but if we're gonna do... It's like, I did mention, like, I am liking this idea of having, like, an evil, like, an anti-hero role that Jared's completely unaware of and has running with. I think this would make for a good storytelling beat, which could then lead into the evil one. Like, it goes, story would be like, Jared's hunting down this guy, all of a sudden this, like, shadowy figure just, like, swoops in, like, out of this dark ethereal cloud, and just, like, dive bombs the guy that Jared's chasing down for information, and basically kills him before Jared can get there. So then Jared, like, slows his gait down and stares at this guy, and this, like, this dark figure, like, drops the body and then just, like, hiffs away. So, those are opted too. So my friend goes Ronald Reagan. Let's see if he ends up getting in the chat. Oh, by the way, I dump points to get even tens, by the way. My OCD hates random... Oh, got it. My bad. I didn't realize that was bothering you. I guess I could do more specific. Are you just dumping him, like, groups of whatever the last digit is, then? Oh, that might be a fun thing to do. If I could program that, I might have it where there's, like, one where you can spend your own points. Okay, gotcha. I didn't mean to be offensive if I was. He's dead set on Reagan. So we'll go... We'll do... All right. What do we think of that bloodsmith? But his actual name is Reagan. Oh, okay, good. So before you got here today, I don't know if you caught any of it, but we had a discussion talking about. I was sold when I heard Reagan. Yeah. Which is an obvious reference to Ronald Reagan, but people won't notice that at first glance. But no, I like the idea of became this villain, goes by the name Bloodsmith, but his actual name is Reagan. So, and then other possible spice candidates we'll use in story. Reagan. So Reagan is Jared's foil. That's what we'll do. I do like that name as a villain name. I think that's really great because it's also like just a dumb name for a villain. But, so also really funny. We got this freaking music playing right now because it's called Traitor to the Empire, and we're talking about the traitor of the Postman group. So don't need this here anymore because we've decided that will be the villain type. We make name him Mark. Yeah, we'll have a dragon one that's named Mark. I do like the idea of them using this unknowable and skill truly made pure evil, unfathomable, occult, weakest fit, IMO. This is hard to work in given what Eldritch takes. Dragonborn. And blend in easier due to looking like a lizard demi. Heritage. Breathes fire. Greed for money. Gold. Easy. So, for now though, how do we feel about his antagonist being Reagan? A vampire gene spliced, cybernetically enhanced human, like what he is, but instead of werewolf, it's vampire. Do we like that? I think we like that. I definitely like that. But what do we feel? Is there anything else you guys would want to add to this? Like that? Okay. So, his villain antagonist, his arch nemesis, a dark postman, goblin rogue, self, titled Bloodsmith, self-titled Bloodsmith, the dark hunter named Reagan. There. So, this villain goes by the name Bloodsmith, but his actual name is Reagan. Don't need the quotation marks. Decided that Reagan is his name. As blood magics that wields along with most minus all formations due to augments body. Alright, cool. I'd say we've done some work today, gentlemen. I think we've done a lot of work today. Yeah, we can name we. I'm just looking through here. Men of Gents, Mental Gen. But yeah, so it gives us other ones to work with, so we can have more vampires in the future if we want. Mental Gen, if you will. Exactly what I just said. How fancy. Unknowable in scope, ritually made, pure evil, unfathomable, occult, weakest fit, IMO, as it's hard to work in what Eldritch takes traditionally. Would only work as a villain. Dang it, Savage. I think there's a slight delay for you. I want to say yes. I'm not sure though. But I think, unless there's any last minute additions we want to do, I should probably start getting ready for bed here. Is there anything else you guys want to add real quick before we close out tonight? Any other, like, things we need to answer, favorites that we can do today versus next? I think it'll be Friday when we go live next. Unless I'm feeling froggy enough, we might do a Thursday night stream. Is there anything else here you guys can think of? I like the idea that we've supplanted with the military guild being not all good because of, like, to protect all from all stance. I do like this explanation. I think other than that, does he have a vehicle? I mean, should he? I would assume, like, you would have some sort of, like, flying vehicle. Help navigate the city easier. Like, that's something I had, like, thought of. Could do an Omni vehicle that transforms. Hold on, that's an idea. Omni, ears done, facial... Transportation. He owns a Prius? No, he's not owning a Prius. Omni... A transforming vehicle capable of flight and street travel for whatever purposes Jared may need. Omni Prius? No. You would have to give like 10 gifted subs if you wanted that. Don't do that because I'm not doing it. I should have said 100 subs. We need on the streets of cities. Omni Prius, get out of here with that. Alright, transportation, Omni vehicle. A transforming vehicle capable of flight and street travel for whatever purposes Jared may need on the skies or streets of the cities he finds himself in. Alright. I don't know. If you want to have financial responsibility right now, I would do it because that is why I'm telling you don't. Because I wouldn't accept it either. Like, I don't know if I could like issue a refund on your behalf, but I would tell you to refund it because I'm not doing the Omni Prius idea. Like, I get that it's really funny and it is cool to have like some funny things, but I'm not doing that. I would sooner give him like a Camaro. There's no refunds on subs? Well, yeah, then yeah, don't throw subs away for a bit, dude. Especially to me, because it's like, you're not getting anything out of just like, you can refund donations, that's good to know. Good. If you're gonna give subs, I want you to give subs because you want to, not for a freaking joke. Unless you want to because the joke's really, really good, but like, I'm being forward and blunt with you right now. I'm not doing the Omni Prius. That is a really funny thing that we could do. Then have that be a bit where it's like, in the story, he gets to choose his vehicle, and it's like, he sees a Prius, and it's like, no. Cheesy burgers. I spent most of my money on hotel. Why do you spend your money on hotel rooms, Dot? hope that's not like me finding out that you're like homeless. Because that'd be a really terrible way for me to find out you're homeless. Oh, you're going to Korea? Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I want to go to, I mean, I don't know if I'd go to Korea per se, but I think it'd be really, really fun to go to like Japan or Europe. I think that'd be a blast someday, but I gotta save money. And I'm trying to buy a house, so that's probably not happening. Guys, homeless. No, I shouldn't laugh at that. It's terrible. It's terrible. Damn not. No, I had a friend that they did that for a while. Where they lived in hotels. Really wish they would take money from me. They're very, very prideful about that. I didn't want to like hinder them. I live in Soup's walls. Well, if Soup's homeless. Uses McDonald's Wi-Fi. Hey, I've done that. And it worked a lot better than I thought it would. But other than that, for real, for like the 5th time this time, because we've been going now for 3 hours. Is there any last additions we want to do tonight before we do more of this on Friday? Burger King? Burger. I do like the villain idea that we've came up with, the Bloodsmith. Goes by. Actually, you know what? I like that better. Blood magic that he wields along with your vampires, well, minus full transformations due to the libraries. Their burgers are so bad here that no one goes, and the Wi-Fi is therefore always good. That is good. There are some Burger Kings that do really good, though. There are some that are like, holy crap, this is a Burger King. But I've not found one recently. There was one in my hometown that was really, really good, but they've since not been that way. I mean, it's one of those things that's like always in constant flux, because I don't like either of them, realistically speaking. But there's times where it's just like, I really want just like the most disgusting cheeseburger I can find, so I'll go for like McDonald's or Burger King at that point. But I'm kind of spoiled for choice when it comes to things like that, because it's like I could just go buy a burger or like burger meat at the grocery store and then just make a really, really good cheeseburger myself. Yeah, but we have sunset, so there's almost no reason to go anyways. That is true. That is true. Okay, gamers. If we got nothing else more to add here, I think we're going to call it. So let's go ahead and stop the music. Head day here. Go ahead and stop the music. Yeah, I think we did some good work today. This will be uploaded on my YouTube channel tomorrow if you want to go back and catch what you missed. But we had a very, very important discussion, I feel like, that was needed to be addressed. So thank you for being here for that, those who were. We then showed off the new references. We got the new right here, as you can see that I'm looking at right now. We got the Jared model coming on very well. And we got my Spartan Fugi. We talked, I feel like we covered a lot of the bases we needed to cover for like things we're going to do here in the future soon. And then talked about things we're going to do like in August. I plan on doing a sort of React stream, sort of doing stuff with Bionicle on Bionicle Day, which is August 10th this year. Did he just go live? Let's see. I might do that. I might raid Kaito. I do like Kaito. Kaito was here for a little bit yesterday, so we can go raid him. Go ahead and do that then. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end chat and go raid Kaito. Let's go do that. Kaito. One of these days. Wait, no, it's like Thief Kaito, isn't it? It's always playing Legend of Zelda. All right, we're gonna go ahead and raid Kaito. Oh, I don't know what we're gonna put, but We're getting ready to raid here, gamers. The streamies, use raid. Oh, where'd it go? Where's the tab for it? Did it? I can't hear Kaito. Anyways, we'll just go ahead. Word. I'm struggling here so badly. Let's go ahead and end my stream then.